The echo of gunfire, the shriek of diving aircraft. These were the sounds Europe would soon grow intimately familiar with, yet their genesis lay in the hushed, clandestine workshops of a defeated nation. Germany, shackled by the Treaty of Versailles, outwardly disavowed the instruments of war. But beneath the veneer of compliance, a silent resurgence was underway, fueled by a burning desire to reclaim lost glory and, more pragmatically, to adapt to the evolving realities of modern warfare. The Great War had irrevocably demonstrated the dominance of artillery and the terrifying potential of aerial assault. To ignore these lessons was to invite oblivion. The whispers started in the corridors of power, the hushed conversations amongst engineers and strategists. The problem was stark. How to defend against the emerging threat of high-altitude bombers, machines capable of unleashing devastation upon entire cities. Small arms and low-caliber anti-aircraft guns were pathetically inadequate, mere pinpricks against a looming iron fist. A new solution was demanded, a weapon capable of reaching the heavens with deadly accuracy and delivering a crippling blow to the enemy. The task fell to Krupp, the industrial behemoth synonymous with German arms manufacturing. Their engineers, masters of metallurgy and ballistics, toiled in secrecy, their designs hidden behind layers of bureaucratic obfuscation and outright deception. The challenge was immense, to create a high-velocity cannon capable of not only reaching unprecedented altitudes, but also of tracking and engaging swiftly moving targets. It required a delicate balance of power, precision, and mobility. A weapon that could be deployed quickly and efficiently across a vast and rapidly changing battlefield. The path was fraught with setbacks, blind alleys, and near-catastrophic failures. Prototypes were tested and discarded, designs refined and re-engineered. Each iteration brought them closer to the elusive goal, a weapon that would redefine the very nature of air defense. Finally, after years of relentless effort, a breakthrough was achieved. From the crucible of innovation emerged a cannon of unprecedented power and sophistication, a weapon that would soon become a legend, whispered in fear by Allied air crews and hailed as a triumph of German engineering, the 8.8 centimeter FLAK 18. The designation, deceptively innocuous, belied the cannon's true nature. FLAK, short for Flugabwehrkanone, or anti-aircraft gun, would soon become a term synonymous with death from above. Even now, decades later, the word evokes a visceral sense of dread, a reminder of the relentless barrage that rained down upon the skies of Europe. The cannon itself was a marvel of engineering, designed to hurl time-fused shells, precisely timed to detonate at a specific altitude, showering enemy bombers with a lethal hail of shrapnel. A direct hit was catastrophic, obliterating aircraft in an instant. Even a near miss could cripple an engine, shred a wing, or turn the cockpit into a death trap. But the 8.8 centimeter FLAK 18 was more than just a powerful cannon. It was a complete system, meticulously designed for maximum effectiveness. Its cruciform carriage allowed for rapid rotation and elevation, enabling crews to track fast-moving targets with uncanny precision. Its versatility was further enhanced by its ability to engage ground targets, making it a formidable weapon in a variety of combat scenarios. Weighing in at 7 tons and requiring a 10-man crew, it was designed to be towed by truck or half-track, granting it the mobility necessary for the blitzkrieg tactics that would soon engulf Europe. A well-trained crew could have it deployed and ready for action in a matter of minutes, a testament to the meticulous planning and engineering that went into its design. The stage was set. The players were in position. The curtain was about to rise on a drama that would reshape the world. The Spanish Civil War, a brutal and bloody conflict that served as a testing ground for the ideologies and technologies of the coming World War, provided the 8.8 centimeter FLAK 18 with its first taste of combat. Deployed with the German Condor Legion, a detachment of Luftwaffe volunteers sent to support Franco's nationalist forces, the 88 quickly proved its worth, not only as an anti-aircraft weapon, but also as a formidable ground support platform. In the skies above Spain, the 88's high-velocity shells wreaked havoc on Republican aircraft, shattering flimsy biplanes and early monoplanes with devastating accuracy. The effect on morale was immediate and profound. Republican pilots, already facing a technologically superior enemy, now had to contend with a weapon that seemed capable of reaching them anywhere in the sky. The psychological impact was almost as significant as the physical damage inflicted. But it was on the ground that the 88th truly began to reveal its hidden potential. Faced with entrenched Republican positions, German artillery crews discovered that the 88's high-velocity shells could penetrate bunkers and fortifications with ease, turning concrete pillboxes into tombs. Its accuracy and range made it an ideal weapon for suppressing enemy infantry and disrupting their lines of communication. Even more surprisingly, the 88 proved to be a surprisingly effective anti-tank weapon. The armour of the tanks of the era, thinly plated and designed primarily to resist small arms fire, offered little protection against the 88's devastating firepower. A direct hit could cripple or destroy a tank in an instant, turning it into a burning wreck. The 88's ability to engage tanks at long range gave it a significant advantage over traditional anti-tank weapons, which often required crews to get dangerously close to their targets. The Spanish Civil War provided invaluable lessons for the German military. The 88's performance in combat confirmed its potential as a multi-role weapon, capable of engaging targets, in the air and on the ground with equal effectiveness. It also highlighted the need for further development and refinement, leading to the creation of improved versions of the cannon that would soon dominate the battlefields of Europe. As the storm clouds gathered over Europe in the late 1930s, Germany was better prepared than any other nation to wage modern war. The lessons learned in Spain had been carefully analysed and incorporated into German military doctrine. The 88th, now recognised as a weapon of immense strategic value, was produced in ever-increasing numbers, ready to play a crucial role in the coming conflict. By 1939, Germany possessed over 2,600 FLAK guns, twice as many as Britain, and a vast advantage over the United States, which had barely begun to develop its own anti-aircraft defences. This numerical superiority, combined with the 80's proven effectiveness, gave Germany a significant edge in the early stages of the war. The crews who manned these weapons would soon find themselves on the front lines of a global conflict, facing relentless enemy fire and enduring unimaginable hardships. They came from all walks of life, united by a sense of duty and a willingness to defend their homeland. Little did they know that they were about to become part of a legend, forever associated with the infamous 88. The war was on the horizon, and the 88 was more than ready. The Blitzkrieg, the lightning war that swept across Europe in the early years of World War II, showcased the devastating effectiveness of German military tactics and technology. The 88th, deployed in large numbers and integrated into the overall strategy, played a crucial role in securing German victories. Its presence on the battlefield had a profound impact on both Allied air and ground operations. In the skies above Poland, France, and the Low Countries, the 88 wreaked havoc on Allied air forces. Its high-velocity shells tore through formations of bombers and fighters, forcing Allied pilots to fly at higher altitudes and in tighter formations, making them even more vulnerable to attack. The 88's accuracy and range made it a constant threat, forcing Allied commanders to divert resources to suppress or destroy FLAK batteries. On the ground, the 88th proved to be an equally formidable weapon. As German panzer divisions raced across Europe, they often encountered pockets of resistance that their tanks and infantry were unable to overcome. In these situations, the 88 was called in to provide fire support, blasting enemy fortifications and destroying armoured vehicles with devastating accuracy. The 88's effectiveness against tanks was particularly surprising to the Allies. The French Char B1 and the British Matilda II, heavily armoured tanks that were considered invulnerable to most German anti-tank weapons, proved to be easy prey for the 88th. A single well-placed shot could penetrate their thick armour, turning them into burning hulks. The Battle of Arras in 1940 during the Battle of France provided a particularly dramatic example of the 88's anti-tank capabilities. As British tanks launched a surprise counterattack against Rommel's 7th Panzer Division, the 88 was deployed in an anti-tank role, decimating the attacking British armour and helping to repel the counterattack. This engagement convinced the German High Command of the 80's potential as a dedicated anti-tank weapon, leading to the development of specialised armour-piercing ammunition and the integration of the 88 into German tank destroyers. As the war progressed, the 88 was constantly refined and improved. The FLAK 36 introduced a multi-section barrel for easier replacement, while the FLAK 37 featured improved targeting instruments and a data transmission system that allowed for centralised fire control. These improvements made the 88 even more accurate and effective, allowing it to engage targets at greater ranges and with greater precision. The 88's fire control system was particularly advanced for its time. It utilised a mechanical analogue computer coupled with rangefinders, acoustic devices, and later radar to automatically calculate and transmit aiming data to all guns in a battery. This allowed for coordinated fire against fast-moving targets, increasing the likelihood of a hit. While the Allies focused on proximity fuses, the Germans relied on their intricate mechanical systems to guide the shells. The results often devastating. The toll on Allied planes kept climbing. But the 88's success came at a price. Flak crews were constantly exposed to enemy fire, making them prime targets for Allied fighter bombers and artillery. Casualty rates were high, particularly as the war turned against Germany and Allied air superiority increased. Despite the dangers, flak crews continued to man their guns, defending their skies and inflicting heavy losses on Allied air forces. The 88's reputation as a deadly anti-aircraft and anti-tank weapon spread throughout the Allied forces. Allied pilots and tank crews learned to fear the distinctive sound of its high-velocity shells, knowing that a single hit could mean instant death. The 88th became a symbol of German military prowess, a weapon that could strike fear into the hearts of even the most seasoned veterans. The war went on with its myriad battlegrounds, and the 88th showed to be more than capable in almost any setting. As the tide of war turned against Germany in 1943, the skies above the Reich became increasingly contested. Allied bombers, now operating with near impunity, unleashed devastating raids on German cities and industrial centres. The 88th, now facing a relentless onslaught, became the primary line of defence against the Allied air offensive. Flak crews, often composed of older men, wounded soldiers, young boys, and even women, worked tirelessly to protect their cities from destruction. They faced constant danger, enduring relentless bombing raids and strafing attacks. Despite the odds, they continued to man their guns, fighting to the bitter end. To better protect flak batteries and provide shelter for civilians, the Germans constructed massive flak towers in major cities such as Berlin, Hamburg, and Vienna. These imposing structures, built of reinforced concrete and armed with multiple heavy flak guns, served as both anti-aircraft platforms and air raid shelters. The flak towers were engineering marvels, capable of withstanding direct hits from heavy bombs. They housed ammunition storage, hospitals, supplies, and shelter areas, providing a safe haven for thousands of civilians during Allied air raids. The towers were equipped with heavier versions of the 88, as well as 10.5 centimetres and 12.8 centimetres cannons, creating a formidable anti-aircraft defence. Despite their impressive firepower, the flak towers were unable to prevent the Allied bombing campaign from devastating German cities. The sheer scale of the Allied air offensive overwhelmed the German air defences, and the flak towers, while providing some protection, could not prevent the destruction of entire city blocks. As the war drew to a close, the flak towers became last-stand fortresses, defended by fanatical German soldiers and civilians. They were among the last positions to fall, resisting Allied advances until the very end. The defence of the flak towers was a testament to the German people's determination to resist the Allied advance, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Today, some of the FLAK towers still stand, silent witnesses to the horrors of war. Some have been transformed into museums, offering visitors a glimpse into the past and a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who lived through the war. The 88th, once a symbol of German military might, is now a reminder of the devastating consequences of war. The story of the 88th is a complex and multifaceted one. It is a story of engineering innovation, military effectiveness, and human tragedy. The 88th was a weapon of immense power, capable of inflicting terrible destruction. But it was also a weapon that was used to defend a nation against overwhelming force, a weapon that was manned by ordinary people who were willing to risk their lives for their country. The legacy of the 88s continues to resonate today. It is a reminder of the destructive potential of modern warfare and the importance of striving for peace. The echoes of its deadly fire can still be heard in the memories of those who lived through the war, a constant reminder of the price of freedom and the importance of never forgetting the lessons of the past. The 88th may be silent now, but its story will continue to be told for generations to come.